Micah Parsons was the face of the Dallas Cowboys defense, the relentless pass rusher, the game wrecker, the guy who made quarterbacks lose sleep. And then, he was gone. This wasn't the Cowboys simply cutting ties. It was Parsons himself who asked out, frustrated with contract talks and the team's direction. Dallas granted his request, and the result? A blockbuster trade that sent him to the Green Bay Packers. The move didn't shock fans because Parsons wanted out. What shook the NFL world was the destination. Green Bay, a team known for its history, its tradition, and now, suddenly, one of the most feared defenders in football. Now, the conversation has shifted. The questions being asked are simple but massive. Just how great was Micah Parsons actually? And what kind of impact will he have as a Packer? The year was 2021. The Dallas Cowboys were desperate to fix their defense after a rough season. With the 12th overall pick in the NFL draft, they selected a linebacker from Penn State, Micah Parsons. At first, some fans weren't sure. A linebacker? Not a cornerback? Not a defensive lineman? But the Cowboys' front office saw something different. They saw speed. They saw versatility. They saw a once-in-a-generation athlete. And they were right. From the very first game of his rookie season, Parsons didn't just play defense. He changed it. His explosiveness jumped off the screen. His speed was unreal. His ability to rush the passer, drop back in coverage, and track down running backs made him a nightmare for opposing offenses. By the end of that season, Parsons wasn't just a rookie anymore. He was the Defensive Rookie of the Year. He had 13 sacks, 64 solo tackles, and 3 forced fumbles. Cowboys fans had found their new superstar, and the rest of the league, they were officially on notice. Over the next few years, Micah Parsons became the centerpiece of the Cowboys' defense. Every Sunday, you could see it. Offenses had to change their entire game plan just to deal with him. Quarterbacks got rid of the ball faster. Offensive linemen double-teamed him. Running backs had to stay in for extra protection. But none of it really worked. Parsons racked up sacks, tackles for loss, and quarterback pressures at an unbelievable rate. Statistically, he was right there with legends like Lawrence Taylor and Aaron Donald in their early years. But it wasn't just the numbers. It was the fear factor. When Parsons was on the field, you felt his presence. He could blow up a run on one play, chase down a scrambling quarterback on the next, and then drop back into coverage like a safety. Fans and analysts started calling him the most versatile defender in football. He wasn't just good at one thing. He was elite at everything. And for the Cowboys, he was more than a player. He was the heartbeat of their defense. What made Parsons special wasn't only his physical talent, it was his fire. Every game, every snap, you could see the intensity in his eyes. He played with swagger. He played with emotion. And that energy spread to everyone around him. Teammates fed off his confidence. Coaches trusted him in big moments. Fans loved his passion. He wasn't just chasing quarterbacks, he was setting the tone. In a league where attitude can shift momentum, Parsons' presence was like fuel. He wasn't afraid to talk trash, but he also wasn't afraid to back it up. And more often than not, he did. If you look back at Parsons' time with the Cowboys, certain games stand out. There was that rookie season game against the Chargers, where he lined up at defensive end for the first time and dominated. He looked like he'd been doing it his whole life. There were primetime games where he made the Cowboys' defense look unstoppable, racking up sacks under the brightest lights. And there were those plays, the ones that live forever on highlight reels, the strip sacks, the chase-down tackles, the moments when Parsons single-handedly swung momentum back to Dallas. Those games are why fans fell in love with him, and why losing him hurt so much. And then came the turning point. Despite all the success, Parsons' time in Dallas ended sooner than anyone expected. The signs had been building: stalled contract talks, frustration with how he was being used, and the sideline drama that went viral during the 2025 preseason finale. Parsons made the decision himself. He wanted out. He formally requested a trade, citing his unhappiness with the Cowboys front office and his desire for long-term security on a new deal. Dallas, faced with a superstar who no longer wanted to be there, had little choice. They granted his request, sending him to the Green Bay Packers in a blockbuster move. For Cowboys fans, it felt like losing a piece of their identity. How do you move on from a player that good, that young, that dominant? But for Green Bay, it was like winning the lottery. A generational defender had just fallen into their lap. So now the story shifts. Micah Parsons is no longer the Cowboys' defensive superstar. He's a Packer, and in Green Bay, the possibilities are endless. The Packers already had a strong defense, but Parsons takes them to another level. His ability to rush the passer pairs perfectly with their front seven. His versatility gives coaches more freedom with schemes. His intensity adds a new edge to their locker room. Imagine Parsons chasing quarterbacks in Lambeau Field in freezing December weather with a fired-up Packers crowd behind him. Imagine him wreaking havoc in playoff games, giving Green Bay a weapon few other teams can match. For a team that's looking to make another Super Bowl run, Parsons might just be the missing piece. So how do we look at Micah Parsons now? In Dallas, he'll always be remembered as one of the most electrifying defenders the Cowboys ever had. His time there was short, but unforgettable. He left a mark on the stat sheet, on the field, and in the hearts of Cowboys fans. But in Green Bay, his story isn't finished. In fact, it might just be getting started. If Parsons dominates with the Packers, if he helps them make deep playoff runs, or even brings another Lombardi trophy to Titletown, then his name will go from great to legendary. And for Dallas fans, that might be the hardest part. Watching the guy who once wore the star on his helmet now chasing glory in green and gold. Micah Parsons' journey has already been wild. From rookie sensation to defensive superstar. From the heart of the Cowboys' defense to a new beginning in Green Bay. He's proven how good he is. He's shown why he's one of the most feared players in football. But now comes the real test. Will Micah Parsons go down as the one who slipped through the Cowboys' hands, or the one who carried the Packers back to glory?